Today on Drawbli,
We are looking at the environment art of Loish.
hey, I'm Ben,
And I'm Abby.
and we're self-taught artists documenting our drawing adventures because art is better when shared with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And let's get in and check out some awesome environment art. And a lot of these will actually have characters in them as well, so bonus.
Yeah. You know, they add frame of reference for the environment. Oh, wow. I love this one. I've actually read about her thoughts on making this exact piece. About wanting to capture that feeling of like a big sky after a storm with wet streets.
And I think that's something that she does quite often. She takes photos that she takes from real life or experiences that she's had from real life and tries to capture those.
This one's amazing. I love the neon streaks and spots on the water that really like cast a reflection of light.
I love the vertical brush strokes that help to make the environment feel even taller. I feel like that really lends a sense of height to this.
Yes.
And we're back on that Loish kick, and we talk about Loish all the time, but it's so nice to always get in and just like take a deeper look at her stuff the decisions that she makes.
Yeah. Look at how cold you can tell it is here, just by the way that the sun is in the sky, where it just looks small and cold compared to like all the what do you call that in the air? The atmosphere.
What do you call that in the air? The clouds? The atmosphere?
I have read about her creating this one too, based on just things that she liked to imagine. Because isn't that amazing? This is feels purely imaginative.
There is a flatbed of like water somewhere in the west of the US similar to this. Probably not as like crystalline and pristine, but you could probably get a similar shot, or not too dissimilar. The clouds being on the ground and the beautiful moon in the sky, maybe not, but
just amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, it's always so exciting to see an artist who is so versatile. I mean, look how complex this is. She's not just all flowy clouds and
not all the time,
streams of water. Here's like some cool pipes that look all the more cool because of her unique work flow applied to them. And then back to the beautiful flowy nature and trees. This looks like, with all the yellow and the birch, it reminds me of Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh, really?
I know you're not as familiar with Calvin and Hobbes.
I've never read Calvin and Hobbes, so what about this makes you reminds you of Calvin and Hobbes?
The yellow and the birch trees.
Oh, okay.
The artist did a lot of like autumn scenes with his characters that often had birch trees in yellow, very like saturated yellow pieces. Very nice.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I love birch trees and I'm terrible at painting trees, but I would love to be better at it. Maybe I'll practice with some birch trees.
This looks like a piece that I would have gotten exhausted with doing partway through, but she never got tired. She's like, every branch is going to make sense where it goes. And some of them will be a little bit grayed out, yes, because they're in the background, but they're still going to make sense. And I would have just been exhausted.
Yeah, if anybody has some advice for trees for us, we would love it. We love taking a deeper look at, how an artist does a certain thing, but you can only pull so much information from that.
Do you ever cross your eyes looking at this to get a feel for things that you didn't see in it before? Until I crossed my eyes a little bit looking at this one, I didn't notice as much the mist around the base of the trees as like a portion of light in the work.
So you mean just in terms of like blurring your eyes to get a feel for like the whole?
Yes, the whole composition.
Yeah, I think it's really good to, especially with your own artwork, do that to kind of take a step back and stop seeing things the same way. It's good to get perspective on your own stuff, but also on others.
This is just beautiful. This is like a very cool combination of things she's very good at creating.
Yeah, the flow.
The sky being so dynamic, the cloth.
The shape in the trees that technically make no sense but work very well.
Yes.
The composition is super cool.
I love how she makes choices too. Like in that other piece, she's like, here's a bunch of pretty accurate looking trees. And here she's like, no, the trees don't have to be as accurate and they still look awesome.
The trees are spheres now. Man, only if I could draw a spherical tree.
Yes.
Only if I had hair this long. If I had hair this long, I would be happy.
Would you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wouldn't you?
I had much longer hair than I currently do, and I have multiple
And you
times
weren't happy, yeah.
in my life
yeah.
made the decision to chop it off. So I don't know that that's the road to happiness, but you do you.
I'm not a huge fan of having long hair on myself, which is why I keep it short, of course.
I have read about her creation of this piece and about how hard it was for her to recreate the look of the cracked ice.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
I don't remember exactly how she ended up doing it, but it was quite the iterative process, as
That's
I
cool.
recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably a new subject that she hadn't done a lot, or maybe even ever at all. So, I think it's really cool to see, really experienced artists come into things like that where they have to experiment and figure it out as they go. Because for us, that's like 99% of what we do. It's the first time doing something, or we haven't done it a lot, and we're just figuring it out.
Oh, very cute. The manta ray maid.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if this fit into environments or not, but
I think it does. I think it does, because the focus isn't almost as much on the character here. Although, I mean, it's like, it's a character, but in as much as she's made to look like she blends into this environment.
And I love the, single hue. We're all in the blue spectrum. And we also have like a pretty crunched range of values minus the like spotlight on top coming, obviously sunlight coming down through the water.
Yeah.
It's just a really cool image. I mean, all of these are amazing, but I really like that one.
Just so detailed. I can't imagine. I imagine, and I could be totally wrong here. I think I am, but this is where, you step up in scale with like a Cintiq and you're like, I want to create this massive image, but it's going to be really complex and detailed on many, many, many areas. And I almost can't imagine creating this on an iPad right now at my current level.
I think that's so strange. I think that's something you'll become more comfortable with in time.
That's true. That's true.
Because it's not about the size of the screen. It's about the size of your pencil. You need a bigger pencil.
I guess I need a bigger Apple Pencil.
No.
Oh, I love this one.
I love the hair turning into the waterfall there.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Just the way the tree is, like all the shapes on the tree, her kind of classic cloudy shapes.
The vibe I get from this is that this is something that you'd spot on a walk through the woods, and then you'd like do a double take and you'd be like, oh no, it's just a tree branch.
With a waterfall coming off of it.
Well, the
What?
waterfall is like maybe in the background or something. You see the peek behind the veil for a moment.
This tree looks so slimy too.
The slimiest of trees and the flowiest of mountains.
Yes, I have seen a little bit of her work in progresses on this piece where, she places again and again that ribbon of light to get it to be just right, just where she wants it, which is super fun to see. That's so cool too. This is just such an awesome, almost like a splash of a wave of a mountain on one side and
I think
the
that's
other.
a good explanation. Yeah, a wave of a mountain. A lot of her artwork kind of has that vibe with the flow of it, like a wave of a tree, just flowing through the whole composition.
And that's something she tries to demonstrate and tries to instill in people in one of her books is a very simple, thought process on take a very simple object and make it look like it's has more motion. She does have a background of having been in animation school at one time, which is I think where she says she learns a lot of her how to make something look like it's in motion quite a bit more.
Yeah, I like that. That actually would be an awesome assignment. That might be something I have to try. Take something mundane and try to make it appear like it has a little more fluidity to it. That'd be tough. Especially for something like a rock, which she can somehow make her rocks have all this beautiful flow.
I know. Everything she touches is just how can I make this, but make it really pretty?
And this is our final image that we will leave off on, which also happens to be currently the lock screen on my phone.
I know. This is just one of the most amazing pieces. I remember when I first saw this one and I was like, oh my gosh.
The composition's awesome.
Everything about it. The idea of it, just...
The colors.
The colors, nothing about this makes me think, oh, I could have done that. Not that much art is that way to me, but this especially, I'm just this is so, so good. So creative, so amazing.
And if you want to be creative, click that like and subscribe button.
And check out our guidebook, How to Easily Draw Every Day, at the link below in the description.
And this is the part where we say...
Goodbye.
Goomba.
Ben, do you know where Loish's art books are right now in our house?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe they're on our bookshelf.
Yes, they are. I was
Oh.
just testing you.
Oh, it was a test.
It was a test.
And I passed.
And you passed.
Oh, thank
And you shall
God.
diminish and go into the west and remain Galadriel forever.
You are cut off from Lord of the Rings forever.